And I was just shouted that I'm a journalist, and it's a mistake. I'm a journalist. But they said, indeed, you are a journalist, you motherfucker. And they beat me. I was in the middle of the group, and they were hitting me. This year, the situation was like going more and more tense, especially after the Georgian dream introduced the foreign agents law. Then there was an election, and the election day was like very frustrating for the Georgian society because everything, every polls, every surveys before the elections were like showing a different situation. And suddenly we saw the dramatically changed results. At first it was a shock, and then people found and media groups starting more and more investigations, and we found out that there were many some signs of meddling, and it was showing that the elections were rigged. But the statement from the Georgian Dream, when they said that we stop the accession talks to the European Union, we halt this, and it became a really big trigger. That is apathy, and people the desperation, changed to the anger, and people spontaneously went to the streets. After the 1 hour or two, the streets were full of the people, and people gathered in front of the parliament, demanding from the government to change their mind. And sadly, it was the first night when I was beaten, and it was after maybe several hours after I was working there, and I was just covering this protest, and it was not even the tense situation we now see in every night. It was very beginning, and people were quite calm. They were shouting, they were demanding from the government, and they were some for some things to have a voice, more a loud voice, but there was not any fighting with the police. Or all the time I do my job. I'm a journalist. Suddenly, some part of these guys ran into straight onto our group. There were 4 or 5 guys, maybe again next to us, and I was taking photos with my DSLR cameras. I had 2 DSLR cameras with me. I had a helmet, face mask, and signs of press card. 1 or 2 guys ran behind me and grabbed me, and very 2 or 3 seconds after, I was already in the middle of their group. They started beating me, very after 1 or 2 seconds. I realized it with my skin that now this government is now is not just only a government which reach some human rights or something. It's going to be more and more authoritative. Now it's a next step to it, and it's a big step that say beats journalists like this. So we could not imagine that Georgia would follow the Belarus and Russia a authoritative path, but now we clearly see that. On the second day, when I was in the clinic, I found out that it was not only me, but they targeted journalists. All the time, the main propaganda TVs try to find the very spots. There are small people. They're trying to not to show the whole picture, bigger picture. They try to label these people as just as a puppets of foreign states, and they try to mention that they are funding from the Western countries.
What can Romania learn from the situation in Georgia today?
It's the same I think in every country, not only in Georgia. It was the case in Ukraine, in Moldova, in Hungary, or other countries that Russian propaganda always says that with Russia there is a peace and stability, so it's better to be with Russia because if not, there will be a war. But who will start the war? So it's Russia who is starting the war. But the history of Georgia, which was which like sadly is like a neighbor of Russia, clearly shows that even if you chose to have a peace with Russia, they will find another reason to repress you more, and if you resist, they will start the war. There is no way, the peaceful way with Russia. It's a way of war. So there is no perfect democracy in the world, and people still have some problems, and all the governments have some problems and have some mistakes. But when you are starting to become the part of the Russian world, it's not only about the mistakes, but now you are the part of the big central repressive system where you don't have a voice.
What can Romania learn from the situation in Georgia today?